Hello, I'm Craig. I work for SGE. I'm the supervisor working for Joseph Homes. I'll be showing you most of the aspects of your property today, the working functionality and also the maintenance.
Hi, my name's Carl, I'm from Cycus. We're the company that will be managing the maintenance and the technical aspect of your Guru unit, which I'm going to take you through today.
This is the HRU unit, the heat interface unit, where the hot water comes into the flat, and there it's split and distributed between the underfloor heating and the hot water that comes from the taps. So here we have the underfloor heating manifold. This is where the hot water is pumped around the floor and returns back. Above it we have the underfloor heating controller. This is for maintenance only by a professional. The resident has no need to touch this. Above we have the programmer. This is the only equipment that the resident should be controlling. So here we have the underfloor heating programmer. At the moment it is in the off position. By pressing mode we turn it to the on position. In this on position it's in a constant mode. So the heating will never go off and is controlled from the room stats which are in each room. Pushing the mode button twice will put it into automatic mode. This mode means that it is running on the time clock. So any time that is set, that is when the underfloor heating controller will come on. Out of those times, the power to the underfloor heating controller will be off. And then we're back to the off position. Right, here we have the underfloor heating room stat. There's one located in every room. On the front, on the small screen, that 22, that is the current air temperature of that room. By using the dial on the side and simply turning it, we can change the temperature. The flashing temperature shown is what it will be set at when you stop turning the dial. Once it's stopped flashing, 22 is the current air temperature, and that will go up as the floor is heated. Located underneath, if no heating is required in that room at any time, there's a small switch, and by flicking it to the right, the room stat is off, and that will turn off that underfloor heating zone. Here we have the air sensor, which is only located in the bathrooms. This runs back to the room stat for the bathroom. It is totally passive and there is no need to ever touch it and no maintenance required.
So this is your Guru unit. It's relatively straightforward in regards to how you'd operate it. So on your left hand side, it will say on the top prepayment or credit. For this side we'll run prepayment. So when you top up, the amount that you've got will show up there, and as you can see underneath the status will tell you when you've got credit low. On the right hand side here, it'll also tell you what your usage is over the last 7 days. You can do this in kilowatt hours or in your pounds. A lot of people mainly pay attention to the pounds for how much they're using. In the account information, you have your emergency credit. So when you top up, you generally have £5 to £10 emergency credit. That'll display there. And when you do run out of normal credit, the Guru will prompt you whether you want to use your emergency credit. On here you've got debt remaining. This applies to the credit aspect. So you accumulate your heating and the bill before you pay it off. If you don't pay any of that, outstanding debt will show you how much you've got. So say for example, you've got a £40 bill, you want to pay 30, say you've got £10 remaining. Keeps you in the loop in regards to what's going on at all times. Friendly credit, that mainly applies to your vulnerable or your residents with children. Anytime if you run out of credit and you're in friendly credit, you won't get cut off. It will still accumulate in regards to a cost, and then when you do top up and that friendly credit ends, it then gets taken from you. Meter reading, again this applies to the meter reading that is in your HRU, so them two will always correlate. Your usage info is self-explanatory again. It tells you your average cost, what your daily spend is, and obviously your total cost for the billing period. You've got it over 7 days, 24 hours, and 12 months. Gives you a bit more control in regards to managing how much you're using, managing how much you're spending on your heat. It gives you a bit more insight so you can effectively manage your money throughout the month. And scroll across, again gives you the bar charts, what you've used over the last 12 months. Again, usage info in a bit more detail as well. Transactions, basically any time you top up, which your billing company will be Eon, so any billing questions and any billing queries, you will get a welcome pack from Eon, and it'll all be explained in there in regards to how you top up. So like I said, Cycus are mainly for the maintenance and the technical aspect. When you do top up, however much you top up and what day will be shown there. So for example, you top up £20 on the 27th of February, £20 on the 28th, it'll display them both there in correlation. The enter code section, that is just mainly if for any reason your top up is unsuccessful automatically, you'll get a 20-digit code which you can type into there, and that'll put your credit on and supersede the automatic. In the settings section, it's just basically for how long you want your screen to stay on. It goes into standby mode. It's completely up to you what you set it on. Messages, they're self-explanatory. If you've ever got a top up successful, top up unsuccessful, an engineer needs to visit for whatever reason, etc. Any messages you'll get on here, so you're aware of it as well. In the information tab, supplier information, again, E.ON is the company that will be providing the billing. Any details and any contact numbers you need will be displayed in this box here. And the energy efficiency is just basically how energy efficient you're using your system. And then your home screen takes you back to where you need to be.
So here we have the main consumer unit for the flat. Lift up the flat underneath. We start off, we've got the main switch. That off kills all the power to the whole flat. Nothing will be on. Next we have the RCD. This is a fault protection device. If this trips off, it can be reset, and also it can have a test done from this yellow button here, just to make sure that it's working correctly. That pushed, and the switch will go down and then push back up to turn back on. After that, we've got the individual MCBs, one for each circuit, going around the flat. Any problem with a circuit, one of these should trip off. This and the RCD may go off together at the same time, but that is easily rectified. Keep the MCB off, turn the RCD back on, and the rest of the circuits will become live again. So in the event of a faulty appliance or something being plugged in which has a fault or is damaged, your RCD will trip out. Demonstrating with the test switch, there it goes in the off position, the switch is down. To rectify this, simply push the switch back up. So here we have the master telephone socket. This can be activated from the BT router by plugging a telephone cable in, which then will make the telephone sockets around the property live. On the top here, these are your internet connections, RJ45 sockets. There is 4, one for each in the property, and they are activated with an RJ45 cable from your router, whether it be your BT OpenReach or your hyper optic plugged in. Right, here we have BT OpenReach router, and underneath the hyper optic router. These will be activated by the resident when they choose which provider they require. BT is pretty standard. Hyperoptic will provide a faster internet service. To the left, we've got a future use alarm spur, just in case a burglar alarm is required on the property. This is where they will get the power from. So up here, we have the Mvhr Fan Unit, which provides the expulsion of air from the flat to the outside. It is powered underneath from the spur there, marked fan. Up the top here, there is 2 panels. They simply pull off. Behind the panel, we have a filter. It's a soft foam filter, recommended every 6 months. Just a small hoover out, keep it clean, pop it back in. The mechanical cover goes back over the top. The fuse spur for the fan unit should be kept on at all times, as the fan runs 24 hours on a low trickle feed. So on the ceiling here, this is the vent which is connected to the Mvhr unit. There is no fan located inside of that vent, so it will run silently as the fan unit is back in the cupboard, and this is simply to draw the air from the room. So here we have the fan boost switch, which is connected to the Mvhr unit. There is one on each bathroom and in the kitchen. The fan unit will run on a trickle 24 hours a day. Once the fan boost switch is pressed, the Mvhr will up its suction and increase the pull of air from the bathroom and the kitchen when needed. So on the ceiling here we have the smoke detector. In the kitchen there is a heat detector. Both of these devices are interlinked.
So one goes off, it will set the other one off. On the face there is a button. When that is pressed and held, it will set the alarm off, and then it will also set the other alarm off, which is in the kitchen, the heat detector. That should be done once a month and once every 3 months using a brush on the end of a hoover. It should be hoovered out to keep dust and materials from the sensor. So this is the lounge media plate. 2 double sockets, terrestrial TV point, FM DAB radio point, and 2 satellite sockets. The FM and DAB radio and the terrestrial TV will work straight away by simply plugging an aerial cable in. The 2 satellite terminations will not work until Sky or whatever service provider you want for your TV is notified, and the engineer comes out and does the connection for that. Down the bottom we've got internet socket and also telephone sockets. Here we have the space where the cooker and the hob will be fitted. This is a provision for the hob, and this is provision for the oven, and above is provision for a cooker hood. So this is the outside light located next to the patio door. Even when the switch is in the on position, the light will not come on, as there is a built-in photocell inside the lamp. So as soon as the light level is dark enough, the light will activate itself. So this is the light switch that will activate the light outside next to the balcony door. It's in the off position. It can be kept in the on position at all times, as the photocell in the lamp outside as previously shown. So in every kitchen and bathroom, the light fittings are a downlighter, which is this unit here, these lights up there. This is the downlight unit, lamp in the bottom. In the event of a faulty lamp, the white bezel on the outside turned, pops off, and the lamp is on a little spring connected to the bezel that just pulls off, and the lamp turns, comes out, new lamp, into the holder, half a turn, back onto the bezel, back into the capsule, turn, and complete. So underneath the sink unit, we have a spout with a valve on it, which is future use if you decide to have a dishwasher fitted, and also there is a spout for the waste from the dishwasher. So here we have the intercom system. This is linked to the main entrance door. So when a resident has a visitor, they will push their number of their flat at the front door. The video screen will pop up with a picture of the person at the front door. To talk to them, it's the center button, and then to undo the doors to let them into the building, simply press the key. This is the main front door to the property. At the moment it's in the locked position. Inserting the key, turning twice clockwise will release the lock and the door will become open. So here we've got the Juliet balcony door. At the moment the key is in, it's in the locked position. Half a turn clockwise will release the lock. Turning the handle to 9 o'clock will put the door into tilt position for ventilation. Closing the window again. Turning the handle to the 12 o'clock position will open it fully on the side hinge. Closing the door, return the handle to 6 o'clock, half a turn back, the door is now locked. So here we have the electric meter. It is a smart meter. The occupier of a flat will never need to access this or use it. As it is a smart meter, it can be viewed and operated remotely. So we have the plumbing riser cupboard, the same as each floor. We have a water meter dedicated to each flat. The resident will never need access to this. It's a standalone system and will not need any maintenance. So we have the main entrance door into the building, and just to the left we have the main entry panel. So here we have the numbers. A visitor will press the number of the flat they require and the call button. A call will be made to the entry phone inside the flat, where the resident can see who's calling, talk to them, and then release the door via a button on the entry phone to undo the front door. So we have 2 buttons here. These will be on every access control door. Daily use is the smaller button at the top, the round one. Pressing that will release the lock on the door for you to pass through. In the event of an emergency or a fire, the button below, once pushed, will keep the door open for a longer time, roughly 3 minutes. And after that, the door will activate and lock again. Located just inside the main entrance door is the electronic notice board. This will be updated by Origin, and that will have notifications of any works being carried out or anything that the residents need to know. They can look here and find out. Here we have the lift, which is located in the main communal area lobby of each floor. We've got the call button. Once called, on the screen there will be a number that will show you the position of the lift. Once the lift comes down, the doors will open. You step in, the doors will close. It'll take you to where you want to go. No tampering with the doors, no leaning on the doors, and no forcing the doors to open. This will result in the lift stopping and an engineer having to come out and repair it. So we are on the ground floor in the refuse store. There's 2 types of bins. We've got the black lid bin, which is for recycling, and the orange lid is for general waste. This doorway here is residence access, which is access controlled back into the building, and a push button to enter. These double doors here, which exit to the outside, are not for resident use. They are purely for the refuse collectors to get the bins outside and take them away. So here we are in the bike store. We've got the bike racks, which are provided, but no security padlocks are provided for the bikes, and it is monitored by a CCTV camera up in the corner. So this is the top floor communal terrace, accessed via a fob and a push button to gain access back into the building. As it is a communal terrace, please bear in mind, respect other people's wishes, keep the noise down, no ball games, and no ejecting anything over the side of the building. So outside the main entrance of the building, there's provided 12 parking spaces for the residents. This is the basement level of the underground car park. There is 8 spaces allocated for shared ownership residents. I hope the video was informative. Welcome to your new home. Please enjoy.